Counting on Grace by Elizabeth Winthrop. Elizabeth Winthrop, 1948 to present, was inspired to write Counting on Grace after seeing a photograph of a 12-year-old girl named Addie at work in a textile mill in Vermont. The photograph, taken by child labor photographer Lewis Hine in 1910, has been reprinted hundreds of times and has even appeared on a U.S. postage stamp. In Counting on Grace, the main character is a 12-year-old girl who leaves school to work at the thread mill in a Vermont town in 1910. She joins her mother, Mimir, her father, her sister, Delia, and several childhood friends who work at the mill. You're not supposed to work in the mill until you're 14, but visiting is fine. From Counting on Grace. This photograph of mill worker Addie Card inspired Elizabeth Winthrop to write the novel Counting on Grace. Vocabulary to be aware of: Mumblety Peg, game in which players throw or flip a jackknife in various ways so that the knife sticks in the ground. Dawdle means to waste time. I've been in the mill lots of times. Summers ever since I was 9, I've been cooking the hot meal for Mimir and Papa and Delia and taking in the dinner pails in the middle of the day. Delia let me push her bobbin dolly. I played Mumblety Peg or Roll the Bobbin with Dougie and Bridget and Felix when he was a summer sweeper boy in the spinning room. But now I'm here to work, not play. The air in the mill is stuffy and linty and sweaty at the same time, 'cause all day long water sprays down on the frames from little hoses on the ceiling. Wet keeps the threads from breaking. The windows are shut tight, even in the summer. You don't breathe too deep for fear of what you might be sucking down your throat. You're not supposed to work in the mill until you're 14, but visiting is fine. French Johnny likes us kids going in and out all the time. He says that way we get used to the work. The only people you worry about are the state inspectors. When French Johnny blows the whistle, all the kids in the mill, even the ones just visiting, know to run as fast as we can so he can hide us in the elevator that carries the cotton between the floors. The inspector always stops in at the front office and dawdles around there for a while, so us kids have time to hide. Seems to me he don't really want to find us. We skitter across the room like those big cockroaches that come up through the floorboards in the summertime. Our mothers make a wall out of themselves to hide us. It gets hot in that old elevator, and the inspector can take hours to look through the mill, top to bottom. A couple kids fainted last August, and French Johnny had to throw cold water on them when he slid open the metal doors. I didn't feel so good myself, but I didn't say a word. "You look kind of green," Pierre Gagne said to me when we filed out. Green Grace, Felix shouted, and everyone called me that for a while. When nobody was looking, I smacked Felix hard on top of his head. By the time he turned around, I was gone. I've got fast feet, fast hands, and fast fingers. Now I'm really going to need them. The analyzing literature questions. Question number 1 is analyzing. Describe the relationship between Grace and the other young workers. Question number 2, interpreting. What clues does Grace use to determine that the state inspectors are making a half-hearted effort to find underage workers? Number 3, predicting. In your opinion, will Grace have a positive experience at work? Will she turn out to be a good employee? Explain.